LATD, what is good? We are back in here with another video. You already know who we are. We don't need no introduction at this point. What are we talking about today?
None whatsoever, big homie. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking and looking at the details of the 30th anniversary of the one, the only PlayStation.
Yes, sir. Man, can you believe it? 30 years ago, arguably the first console in the goated console line.
Yes, sir. Don't add us. Don't add us. 30 years ago, we weren't even a thought yet, bro.
That's crazy.
It's crazy how 5 years later we were born.
That's what I'm saying. It's literally been around longer than us. But yeah, no. The PlayStation 1, the original, great console that revolutionized gaming. You know, all started back all the way in 1994, and as we already know, you know, there are so many legendary franchises that either got started or really found their foothold in gaming through the PS1.
Oh, yeah, man.
Whether we're talking about Silent Hill, 1 and 2, Resident Evil.
Oh, go ahead. Resident Evil.
Resident Evils 1 and 2.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank was on 2.
Oh, well, I lied then. We'll get to that one later then. But you keep going. I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, definitely Final Fantasy VII. That's when most people actually really discovered Final Fantasy was with the 7th entry. And of course, the one and only, the greatest Sony exclusive of all time, in my opinion, Metal Gear Solid 1. And I'm not saying that just because Metal Gear Solid is my favorite franchise. It revolutionized gaming. And, you know, storytelling in that game was way ahead of its time. Voice acting was ahead of its time. This was one of the first times like we really saw gaming and what its potential was as far as really telling a real cinematic story, you know.
Yeah, most definitely.
Kojima's obsession with movies and everything really like translated onto the big screen because the game, even to this day, because I replayed it last year and it holds up. Obviously, gameplay wise, graphic wise, it's way outdated. But in terms of the themes and just the voice acting, it still holds up very well.
Facts. A couple more was Crash Bandicoot. That's what it was. This wasn't Ratchet and Clank. You're right.
Yeah, that's facts.
It was Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon. I still play Crash the Titans to this day. I used to love that game.
Same here. I used to play that game a lot. I never beat it, but I definitely had it in my rotation back in the day as a kid.
Spyro kind of, I hate to say it, that Spyro kind of fell off, man.
It kind of lost its relevancy at some point.
As soon as Spyro was in what's it called, Skylanders, that's when it started falling off. Really, if we being honest.
I feel like it kind of lost its relevance before that, though.
Yeah. They tried to make a resurgence with with Spyro being in Skylanders. It didn't. Just to say, it really didn't work. But Skylanders took off. But you know, that was a different time for a different era. And then you had Gran Turismo too. And the Tekken series and Castlevania and Silent Hill. Oh, well, you said Silent Hill. I'm like, golly. There's a lot that was on the PlayStation 1.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, this console really is kind of like ground zero for obviously what the PlayStation became. And, you know, obviously as generations went on, a lot of these franchises translated from the PS1 to the PS2.
Right.
As well as being... Go ahead.
That's a golden era in the PlayStation.
For sure, yeah. As far as the 2, yeah, like the 2 kind of furthered the PS1's legacy while adding to its own. Exactly. Because with 2, that's when you had Ratchet and Clank, God of War,
Sly Cooper,
Shadow of the Colossus,
Sly Cooper.
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of other franchises that really sort of we said Jak and Daxter.
We was Jak and Daxter, yeah.
100%. Naughty Dog. That was kind of when Naughty Dog kind of sort of first made their name in gaming. I mean, they did work on Crash before this, but this was kind of when they started to get their shine as a premier PlayStation studio.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. Like, and another franchise that I absolutely love from the PlayStation 2 era is Devil May Cry.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Even though that's not an exclusive, but I mean...
Well, I mean, it was at the time.
Was it?
Yeah, it was at the time, But now, like, it's branched out some more. Like, Devil May Cry even has a recent anime that came out. The reason why I love Devil May Cry so much is because every time, with each game, it kept getting better and better, except for Devil May Cry 2. We don't talk about that one. But Devil May Cry 1 to Devil May Cry 3, 4, and 5, they kept getting better. I remember people hated Nero in Devil May Cry 4. Devil May Cry 5, people love him.
Oh, yeah, no, because they definitely improved him as a character. So, yeah, Devil May Cry, another one of my favorite franchises. But yeah, no, it was just 2 really kind of forwarded the legacy of the PlayStation, and then you get the 3. Now this is the era where like I really first became I had a PS2, but like 3 was when I really first became like a serious gamer.
Same. Like the PlayStation 2 is where is the era. I never had one, but my cousin Ronnie, shout out to you, Ron. He actually had every time I would go to his house and we would just chill and play the game all the time, Ratchet and Clank, everything, bro. I loved it. Favorite time, but you right, PS3 was really that time I really got into gaming.
Oh yeah, no,
and I feel like it's the most underrated era of the PlayStations. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if I would say that though, because I think the 3 is pretty fondly remembered now.
Right, but I still think that it's not as fondly remembered as 2.
And 2, it definitely not.
2 and 4. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that. I think 3 might have it over 4 for a lot of people. I
think so. and 2, honestly, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
To be honest, because the games in that era were immaculate.
Yeah, of course, starting with
Last of Us.
When it comes to the PS3 in that era, you cannot mention it without mentioning Last of Us and Uncharted.
Yeah, exactly.
Last of Us is my favorite game. I mean, I've said that plenty of times before. But also you had Uncharted, which again, Uncharted was the reason that I actually got a PS3. Uncharted was the franchise that made me get a PS3 over the Xbox at the time.
Right.
Like that's like seeing Uncharted 2 gameplay, watching the walkthrough on YouTube back in like 2010, 2011.
Shout out Tetra Ninja.
100, yeah, for sure.
Shout out Tetra Ninja, yes sir.
I'm still subscribed to him to this day.
Same, bro. Like, bro, I'm trying to tell you, man. So many memories. Like, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Uncharted 2 and 3. Well, really, every Uncharted game is one of my favorite games of all time. Obviously, it was furthered and concluded with Uncharted 4. But yeah, Last of Us, my favorite game. This was also the era that Infamous came out.
Oh, that's my second favorite PlayStation franchise of all time.
Infamous came out with the PS3, Little Big Planet, just a lot of different franchises that kind of came to define the PS3 in its own right. And that's one thing I love about PlayStation is that each era in each console has produced its own iconic franchise.
Most definitely,
with each and every generation, there's been a new franchise that has come to kind of further that torch, carry that kind of tradition on.
Exactly. On top of that, all the remasters and remakes that they've done over the years. But we'll get to more of that with PlayStation 4. But the PS3 era for me is probably my favorite PlayStation era. That's the era that really got me started in all of this. It's just everything about it just made sense, man. Like the Infamous 1 and 2, just perfect. Little Big Planet, perfect. I love Little Big Planet, ironically enough. But the Uncharted series, 10s, all of them are 10s in their own right. I never finished the first one though.
Oh, I beat the first several times over. I love the first.
But 2 and 3, I definitely did. Uncharted 4, we'll save that for PlayStation 4, but
for sure.
Like just Metal Gear Solid 4, that was a good one too. And then just like, I never played God of War 3 though. The God of War games.
I played all of them.
Yeah, I know about the whole story and everything, but my thing is I just couldn't do it, bro. Just seeing like how I could, y'all get it. If y'all play God of War 3, y'all get it. I can't do it, bro.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's not for the fan of heart. I'll tell y'all now.
100%. Oh yeah, I love 3 though, because the weapons in 3 that was pretty much the penultimate chapter at the time. That was the follow through of everything that the first 2 built, because the second one obviously ended with him coming to Olympus with the Giants and everything, or with the Titans. Yeah. So yeah, 3 great era, goated era. My era that I first really became a real bona fide PlayStation fan. That was the first era where it's like I was playing it as it was happening. Like it was like I was an active participant, because when I got my 2, that was pretty much towards the end of the PS2's lifespan and life cycle. It kind of started to not be the main console. And most of the games that came out that defined that era were pretty much way behind at that point. 3 was the first one where I joined in time to really kind of see the era unfold. Right. So I look back very fondly on the 3 specifically. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we get to the 4. That was the first era. I was there from the very beginning.
Oh yeah, same here, bro. Same here. Like all I know is the PlayStation 4 era is my second favorite era. Mainly because it just took everything that was great about the PlayStation 3 era and just stacked on top of it. with everything, bro.
Yes, sir. Spider-Man.
Oh my gosh, God of War 2018.
Ghost of Tsushima, and also an underrated PlayStation title that came out around this era. Of course, Horizon Zero. I never played Horizon, but I respect it for the fact that it kind of continued that tradition of adding something new with each generation.
Yeah, like I never really played Horizon Zero Dawn. I couldn't get into it, but it was cool.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And Bloodborne was another one. Uncharted 4.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bloodborne did come out on the PS4. That's sure enough, it did.
Yes, sir. Uncharted 4 though, like that was the great and Lost Legacy, but that was more of an expansion.
Mm-hmm.
But the Spider-Man games, like you said, but like back to Uncharted 4, I'm tripping. Like Uncharted 4 was really like the greatest. I wouldn't say the best Uncharted game, but it was a great way to conclude the series.
Yeah, I think Uncharted. I think when we talk about the games that define the PS4 the most, Uncharted 4, Last of Us Part 2, whether people want to admit it or not, Spider-Man, and definitely God of War 2018. In fact, I would say that God of War 2018 and Spider-Man are the two games that the PS4 is most remembered for.
True be told, yeah.
That and Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima, I still play that game to this day. Like I'm still trying to find all the collectibles throughout Tsushima, and I played Iki Island. The expansion that it had too, man, like that Ghost of Tsushima is still a great game. I can't wait till Ghost of Yote comes out.
Oh yeah, and that's another example right there. You just see how it just continues. Spider-Man went to Spider-Man 2 with the PS5. We're really getting to see how God of War Ragnarok in the remake 2022.
Also, the remake of Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like PlayStation as a brand and as a franchise. Well, really just as a entity has seemingly never had a weak point in my opinion.
Same.
I've been a PlayStation fan my entire gaming life. I'm always going to be a PlayStation fan. I don't know what to tell you PC gamers. I mean, maybe one day I'll get a PC. But right now, I'm still PlayStation all the way.
I will say this too. Another game we didn't mention is Infamous Second Son.
Yeah, that did come out in 2014 on PS4.
Fire game.
For sure,
another
underrated.
Fire game. Super, super underrated, bro.
But yeah, no, it's just really great seeing how much the PlayStation brand has really continued to evolve, continued to innovate, and it was just really great growing up and just being a part of it. I played so many of these games. So many of these games have so much nostalgia for me and have so much of a soft spot in my heart. Mm-hmm. So it's just nice seeing that, after all these years, we're still seeing innovation. I can't wait for Ghost of Yote. I just cannot wait to see what they continue to do. I just think that PlayStation they just know how to do it, man. They've lasted. They stood the test of time. They've had shortcomings, of course, but for the most part, they've pretty much been consistent.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like PlayStation 4 era, I just love PlayStation in general, man. Like I just don't know what else to play. Like I tried to play the Xbox exclusives. I tried, but they don't hold a candle to PlayStation exclusives. Fight me. To be honest. Like the only Xbox exclusive game that I even like is Sunset Overdrive.
And Halo, you gotta get Halo.
Halo's good too. Yeah, you're right. Halo and Sunset Overdrive, but other than that, man, like shoot, on to the PS5 era, which is currently still going on as we speak, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, it's been a great era. We've had a lot of
so far so good.
We've had a lot of great exclusives and just games in general. Now, one thing I will say about this generation is that it's taken way longer for it to really get underway and cook than the first then I would say the 4 took until probably about 2015 to really kind of start to ramp up. Right. I would say the 3 probably took till 2009, so that was about 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah.
But the 2 pretty much was out of the gate. Fire.
Yeah. But the PS5 though. Sorry, man, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. I was just saying that the 5, it was just I really feel like they started to really hit their stride more towards the end of 22 going into 23.
Right.
So about a 2 to 3 years sort of slow period. And I also think that's just due to the fact of how long it took for it to become widely available.
Right, yeah. Because I remember when I first got my PS5, it actually came out on my 21st birthday. So you already know. I stood in line and waited for that thing, but when I got the PS5, for the first 2 years, like you said, everybody still had a PS4.
Oh yeah, I still got mine to this day.
Everybody was still playing on a PS4. I was playing. There were no PS5 games really available unless you got the Spider-Man Miles Morales. You know what I'm saying? Bundle. You know, that's what I did,
exactly.
and I love that game to this day. But then the exaggerated swagger of a black teen, right? And I had exaggerated swag with that PS5 though, for real. Like I still got the pictures I took and everything, but like it's the availability is definitely what slowed it up a little bit. And but now most recently, like that's when it's really started picking up though. You right?
Yeah, no, I agree. 100%. Yeah, it's definitely ramped up a lot.
But this is still a good console too. I think the 4 might have been slightly more iconic because previous in the PS3 being more iconic than the 4, mainly because all the sequels that we get are pretty much happening in PlayStation 4 and 5 era really. Yeah. So it's like, it started with Spider-Man and PS4, now we got Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man Miles Morales and everything. That's why I feel like this won't be as iconic as the 4 because it's just as good, if not slightly better.
I feel like, yeah, because we haven't really seen an emergence of a really new franchise. Like, everything that we've gotten from the 5, for the most part, has been a continuation of what has been established in previous generations.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
I don't think that we're going to get... I don't know if we're going to get a true bona fide signature franchise from the PS5. Because starting off, like, so far, we've never really gotten that. Like, we've gotten a lot of great games, but they've been games that are continuations, sequels, remakes of games from before. So it's like we haven't really seen any new innovation to be real. But the franchise, the game as a system, the PS5 is still great. I still enjoy it for what it is.
Same here, bro. It's like. And going back what you said about the sequels and everything and continuations, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Don't get me wrong, they're still great games, and they tried to make a whole new franchise with Black Myth Wukong. But I feel like the biggest thing that makes the PS5 suffer, is all the online play to a degree.
Yeah.
Because as soon as especially if it's like a competitive game, and we mentioned all of this in the Sparking Zero video we did, check that out. So I won't get into all to it, but I think the online only aspects of those games is kind of what's killing it a little bit. Like if they focus more on games like Black Myth Wukong, I feel like they'll be okay.
I agree. Yeah, bring back more of the single player sort of games,
right? Immersive games.
Yeah, for sure. Games that I guess in a way sort of have defined PlayStation. Because PlayStation has always been known for the story aspect of games,
right? While Xbox was more known for the multiplayer online.
For sure, definitely. So I do want to see more of a return of that. It seems like we're getting back towards that. But I mean, yeah, overall, the PS5, I haven't had any complaints with it. I love it.
Right, it's still being told. The story is still being told as we speak.
For sure. So yeah. As of right now, great era so far. But hey, that's pretty much it for me, honestly.
Yeah, man. Same here. It's just I just hope that the innovation comes up a little bit more,
Yeah,
that's all.
For sure.
But that's all I got to say. With that being said, I've been Jay.
This is me, Rodney.
We're LATD. Y'all remember, look at the details. More videos coming soon. Peace.